I wasn't sure if I wanted her to reveal all of this. I wasn't sure it was necessary.
I didn't have to do this. I didn't even have to make the record. It's not like anybody was clamoring for the next J-Lo record. You know what I mean? And I know that there's some people around me who are like, this is stupid. Why is she doing this? She doesn't need to do this. And they're right. I don't need to do any of it. I don't. But I want to.
That was a clip of the new Jennifer Lopez documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told. And joining me is a director on the movie, Jason Bergh. Jason, so happy to have you here. This is such a difference from the movie that came out because we're really pulling back the curtain, and J-Lo is so honest about making this film. And she endured a bunch of challenges, from funding to people who didn't want to be part of the project. What was that like, taking on this role?
You know, it's interesting. Watching her work is always, you know, such a beautiful thing, because she is so, you know, she's smart, and she's just going to do whatever she wants to do, and it's what she believes in doing. And so I think any bumps along the way, she's, you know, she handles it like a champ, and she just, there's never, no is not an answer for her. So she's just going to keep going until you know, she gets what she's dreaming of.
Which is incredible. And you've known her for quite a few years now. You've worked with her through so many moments, big moments in her life. Can we touch upon those?
Sure. Well, for the last documentary, Halftime, you know, that was centered a lot around the halftime show. But while we were doing the halftime show, she was also doing press runs for Hustlers. So we were going back and forth between New York and LA. And then we were also kind of sitting down in Miami rehearsing for 3 months for the halftime show. So I've been a part of some pretty amazing mega moments. Sometimes I just need to pinch myself and ask, is it real?
Well, you can tell that she asks for excellence and nothing less, and she puts that same pressure on herself. That's so rare these days. What have you learned from J-Lo that most people may not realize?
I mean, I think more than anything, it's seeing kind of what she's been through and how she just kind of gets right back up and goes for it. Like, you know, yes, there's fodder out there in the world, but for her, you know, I think that's probably fuel to continue, you know, doing what she's doing and going after her dreams. I mean, she's a dreamer, and we all get to kind of tag along for that ride, and a lot of our dreams kind of come true along the way. So for the last 6 years that I've been working with her, it's been one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had. I never knew that I was gonna travel the world and get to see all these amazing places and get to, you know, help tell her story the way that, you know, I feel like it's deserved to be told.
On this film, she's talking about some really tough things that she's dealt with, and it explains the movie as well. Did she just say, air it all? Is that always how she is?
I mean, I think for having worked with her for so long, you know, I get to shoot everything, right? Because there's a trust that gets built amongst people when you work together for a long time. And I think she always knows that my intention is pure, and that I just want to tell stories, and I want to, you know, help tell her story and do her stories justice. So, you know, there's nothing really off limits, but we get to make those decisions when we get to the edit on what makes sense for the movie or what makes sense for the story. But yeah, I have pretty unfiltered access. Again, like, pinch myself, I'm grateful, but it comes from having good and pure intentions as a filmmaker, and you know, doing what, you know, we're here to do, which is tell stories. So.
And we get a rare look at her relationship with Ben, who interviews in the documentary. We hear about these love letters. Can we talk about these?
So I've never actually even seen one of the love letters, but, you know, the book was always kind of present, you know.
Were you scared to look?
No, it's just, that's personal,
Okay,
you know.
but she showed all of her producers, her music producers?
Yeah, I mean, for me, in the film that I wanted to make, it's more about following the journey of her. And
you look how sweet you are. You're like, that's too personal. Well, we can say that they were love letters that she and Ben exchanged 20 years ago, which is wild. And even Ben talks about how he was surprised she was letting people see them. I thought that was really special, though, because they're both such big people in both of their worlds, him with directing and acting, and then she with music and acting, and clearly now taking on this huge project. What did you glean anything from their relationship? Did you see how they're this incredible power couple?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, for them, you know, with Jen, I've just seen this, like, you know, amazing kind of, you know, calmness and excitement. But yeah, I mean, they're just two amazing human beings that, you know, got back together after so many years. It's inspiring. I just got married a couple weeks ago, so, you know, it's inspiring. Yeah.
Okay, did doing this documentary inspire you to put a ring on it?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna put a ring on
Okay.
it with or without the documentary, but you know, it's definitely special, and I'm feeling a lot of the love from my wife and I now, and you know,
Well,
with this film.
congrats, you're a
Thank you.
newlywed.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, not to make it about me, but I divorced my husband and remarried him.
Oh wow, really?
Yes, yes. So I relate with J-Lo, but I can say I didn't really hold on to the love letters.
I mean, that's a very romantic thing
It
to
is
do.
it is
Yeah.
still romantic.
Yeah.
I always think of like Liz Taylor and Richard Burton, which J-Lo loves her as well.
Yeah.
So it is about, I guess, you know, the circle of life and
Yeah.
an incredible love story.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
There's a couple of things I'm working on. My dad was a war journalist for a long time in like Iran and Bosnia, and there's some things with him that I'm tinkering around with, telling parts of his story. He's been around the world and done some great things. I have a company I'm working on called Voyeur Verite right now. So yeah, looking at projects, and for me, it's just, I want it to be, documentaries are, it's not, for me at least, it's not like, you know, someone wants to hire you for this documentary, oh great, to get a job. You know, for me, I have to really be invested in it.
Yeah.
I want to, you know, I have to really care about it. So I'm really kind of, you know, particular and cautious about the things I do. But I'm looking at some stuff now, so I'm excited.
Well, congrats.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait for the world to see this documentary
too.
because it is filled with tea, honey. This is going to be the talk of the town.
Thank you. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Jason.
Thank you.